All right, welcome back, guys. We have a returning guest now in Haji Papi Iraqi on TikTok, on Twitter as well. Go follow his Twitter. We'll leave that
Mhm.
in the description later. But basically, we're just doing a part two from our video we had a few months ago. And man, a lot can change in just 2 months. So
A lot can change.
we're going to be discussing some things. So first of all, tell me, man, how you feeling right now? How does it feel to be, top of the league? You're on cloud nine, so to speak. How does that feel?
On top of the world, bro. I mean, to be honest with you, and I've told you this already,
Mm,
uh, I did lose a lot of confidence in the team after the Atletico game.
mm-hmm.
Um, because that, like, even if we were gonna lose that game, but losing 5-2 to Atletico was a disaster.
Mm.
So going into the Clasico and like after that, I was like, my confidence level has went to shit. But after beating Barcelona and beating Juve and top of the table as well,
Mm.
I'm regaining my comfort back, I guess.
I mean, the only thing I'm gonna say about those results, though, just because this is like for later on in the video, I want to get into it. But basically, from what I've noticed with Madrid, just from observing, now obviously I do have my hater glasses on, so it's not necessarily unbiased of an opinion. I just feel like okay. The only difference I really see between you guys this year and last year, and I did tell you this like even before, just like off camera or whatever, your pressing's definitely better. I will say that your high press is way better than it was last year. Because one thing I noticed in the Barca game, now obviously we just played like shit, but like one of the reasons for that is because you guys were pressing very high, so we had a very hard time retaining the ball in the Clasico. Was one thing I feel like most people would have noticed. So your high press is definitely better. Mbappe is obviously better than he was last year. He pretty much ended the season very well, and he's basically just picking up where he left off. Has been very good for you
Basically, yeah.
guys. But other than that, some of the stuff that I saw last year, which is normal because it's still early on in the season, it's a new coach or whatever. But some of the stuff I saw last year, I feel like can still be exploited by better teams than Barca, as you saw against Atletico Madrid and against
Mhm.
PSG in the Club World Cup. Now, maybe this result against Barca will be like the springboard to propel you to like better things this season. Because obviously, winning against your biggest rival is a very big confidence
Oh,
booster.
absolutely, yeah.
But my thing is just that, especially in the second half. Now, I don't know if that's due to Madrid just maybe dropping back because like you guys were winning, but you guys in the second half, like we had a lot of the ball, which we tend to do. We didn't do much with it, so your defense did very well. But some of the stuff that you guys had last year, I still saw. Like I felt like your midfield did very well in defending against us. I just felt like still your midfield was still a bit disjointed. Your defense, like I told you, if this was, let's say, Barca from last year or maybe like a better team than what we were that day, I'm not saying you guys would have lost necessarily, but it would have been a way harder task. Now, saying that, you guys also should have won like 5-1 at least that game. So
Easy.
thank you for that. Because that
You were spared. Your team was spared.
no, we were spared. We were definitely spared. Because, bro, off the top of my head, if I can just think, you had the. Tell me this, okay? The penalty you guys had on like the third or fourth minute. Do you think that's a penalty?
It's like, I mean, it's I wouldn't necessarily say it's a clear penalty, but if he were to call it as a penalty, if I was a Barca fan, I kind of wouldn't be mad at it.
Look, for me at first, what happened is that okay, so obviously Vinny goes down, he calls for a penalty, and I'm thinking, okay, it's a penalty. Why? Because on first glance, I just saw okay, Lamine Yamal got close to Vinny, Vinny went down. I'm like, okay, it's a penalty, right? But then
Yeah.
there's two ways to look at it, and obviously I'm gonna take the Barca point of view because my team and that. But okay, if you're Vinny, you go to kick the ball, and Lamine puts his leg in front of the ball to shield it, so you end up kicking Lamine instead of the ball, and then you fall down. Is that a foul on Lamine or on Vinny? Because on one hand, Vinny's the one who kicks him. Lamine doesn't touch him technically, but he did impede his shot. So you could look at it from both ways. Now, if I'm a Barca fan and let's say that's the reverse, I'd want it to be a penalty, obviously. But that's just the fan in me
Yeah, it's
speaking.
a biased thing, of course. Yeah.
Now, the logic tells me I don't think it's a penalty, and it wasn't given. But saying that, you guys had, an Mbappe screamer, which, to be honest, like, okay, from my point of view, now, granted, it did, favor us, the decision. I don't feel like that type of play should be called offside, personally. I feel like offside should be only when there's like a clear and obvious like advantage from the player. You know what I mean? Like he's but the thing with Mbappe is he was offside by like his ass cheek, basically. So
It was
like
literally like 2 inches of his calf
but
was
that's what
offside.
that's what I'm saying. So like should that be given as offside? Technically, look, he is offside. Now, should that be given? I'm of the opinion that no, those shouldn't be called as offsides. Now, it worked in our favor, don't get me wrong, but if I'm being unbiased, I wouldn't give that as offside personally. So you guys had that goal. You guys obviously had one goal that was called offside. That was actually correctly ruled off as offside.
That was correct.
That was obviously offside.
See, the Mbappe screamer goal. Now, I'm me saying this might be going against my obviously like it's an unbiased opinion because either way it was called offside, but I'm saying that it shouldn't have been. But when do you draw the line? You know what I mean? So like if an inch of his calf is offside and you call it offside, people are like, no, you shouldn't call it offside because it's only this much. It's not that advantageous. But realistically, when do you draw the line? You know what I mean? And then on top of that, in my opinion, the reason why I don't think it should have been called was because it came off of Firmin's foot.
Yeah.
And the replay, from what I saw, it came off Firmin's foot, which technically that should not have been called because it came off of his foot.
I'm just going to say this. Listen, the ref in this game, I think, was just shit for both sides because here's the thing. Okay. So you guys obviously you had another penalty in the game, was saved by Szczesny, right? You had that. You guys had another offside goal. So you guys, like I said, you guys should have, that could have easily been a good 5-1, 6-1, easy. Because outside the goal we scored, we had like 2 half chances. Like the first like 5 minutes, Rashford kind of had a chance that got blocked by, I think it was Militao, went for a corner. Then there was like the Fermin one when he went through and then instead of passing it, he took a shot.
He shot. Yeah.
Outside of those ones, we only had the goal that we scored, and that's it. So we didn't deserve shit from that game.
Also, the Lamine cross to Koundé.
Oh yeah, but I'm not counting that because that's just Koundé being a dumbass. You know what I mean? But the thing is,
I don't believe how he didn't make that. But
basically, what it is that the second goal, right, when you guys scored it. So when I think it was Huijsen or Militao. So when someone went up to head the ball back through the goal, like across goal for Bellingham to score the tap-in, right? Kubarsi gets elbowed in the face. Now, people can say, like, okay, it's a natural movement of the arm, whatever. You can say that because, yeah, he, like, jumps and hits him. I get that. My only thing is that I've seen that called as fouls before, right? Now, my thing with refereeing is that what annoys me is there's some stuff that are more, like, nuanced, I get it, but I feel like something like that should either just be universally either not given as a foul or given as a foul. Because and for example, the second one that like pissed me off a lot as well is like towards the end, I think Lamine crosses the ball, Araujo goes up to header the ball, then Carvalho, and you can clearly see he nudges his arm and his back, and Araujo falls, right? To me, I don't know how that's not called as a penalty, but the reason why I'm not going apeshit over it is because we deserve to lose the game anyway. It's not like I'm in a way I'm happy we lost that game instead of drawing or even maybe scamming a win, just because I don't want to like paper the crap. It's early enough in the season right now where, okay, yeah, it's a 5-point difference between us and you guys, but it's still early enough where we could come back. You know, last year we were 10 points behind and we ended up coming back. Absolutely. So I'm happy in a way that we lost. In some ways, I would have not liked, obviously. If we got dusted like 4-5-1, obviously I would have hated it. But for the long term, you know, it opens up our eyes to be like, okay, bro, like we need to fix our shit. Now, a lot of it is outside the coaches' control, obviously, injuries, plus the fact we didn't really spend much this summer because Barca and money do not go hand in hand, obviously. But right now, the way I'm looking at it is Madrid are in a good position right now. You guys are, 3 out of 3 in the Champions League. You guys are top of the league. We've
lost only one game the whole season.
You got Barca and Atletico out early in the season. I mean, I know you still have to play Atletico at home and Barca away, but you got 2 pretty hard games out of the way already, and you're top of the league. So, I mean, right now it's looking decent for you guys. I can't lie.
It is, but there are still a few things that I wouldn't say worry me, but it still raises some questions. So, like, obviously, one of the main things in the Clásico was the best player on the field gets subbed out minute 72.
Do you think Vinny was I think probably Mbappe was a bit... I mean, yeah, but I get your point, yeah.
Like, Vinny was creating chances. He was cooking on that side.
Yeah, he's
I
the
think
one
he was.
who
Yeah,
the one who got for the second goal. He cooked Kunde, and
yeah,
then to be honest, bro, I remember when he went to the byline because he was so close to going out. I'm thinking like, okay, like we're good, right? Then I just see him put in the cross. Now, I think the cross because remember it was like floating
it
really
was really
high.
high. Yeah,
I'm thinking that's going out or the goalie's grabbing it, and then yeah, Militao or Hoist, I keep forgetting who, but yeah, someone heads it across and Bellingham
yeah,
scores. And I'm just there thinking, I'm like, bro, are you fucking serious?
yeah. So like that was like one of the biggest things that was in the, I guess, the Madrid fan base fear
Mm,
over after the game was why sub him out.
mm,
And obviously, if you remember, like he
pissed.
was complaining about it as he was, leaving.
Mm.
Later, he put out an apology, and I heard he apologized to all the coaching staff and all that kind of stuff, which is fine. But I'm trying to understand Alonso's like thinking behind that. Now, you could say, "Oh, he has something against Vinny," but that's bullshit because out of all the games we played this season, Vinny has started every single one but like two or three.
Mhm.
Okay. You could say that he wants to give a chance for the other players like Rodrigo, Brahim, these
Yeah,
other players.
but you guys were also just up 2-1. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
the
That's what I'm
game
saying.
wasn't sealed. Like say you guys were up 3 or 4-1 with like 10 minutes left. Okay, I could see
Yeah,
it, but
I
like
get that.
2-1 up,
2-1.
70th minute. It's like yeah,
I'm thinking like why? Because he's done this over the course of a bunch of games, right?
mm,
Now I understand it's a tactics thing.
mm,
You know, I can understand it being a tactics thing. Maybe the other team starts figuring out how this player is playing, so you need to switch things up quickly.
mm.
Keep them on their toes. I can understand these things, right? But a lot of other people say, "Oh, he wants to." This is something coming from the top of the, like from the head honchos. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
from Paris
Because
and
of
them guys.
contract issues and stuff like that.
I
I'm not sure because even he subbed Mbappe out later
mhm,
on. He
yeah.
subbed Mbappe out. He subbed Jude out.
Mhm.
So he did still make subs to the other important players on the team.
Which I found weird though, just because like you guys were gonna because you guys' next game is tomorrow, so that's 6 days of like rest either way. So I don't know why he subbed them out to be honest. Like
Yeah, so that's one thing that was confusing me. Now, granted, I can understand one thing. There is one thing that I haven't seen a lot of people like make like bring up in conversation, and that's one thing we struggled from last season was depth. And what I mean
mm,
by depth uh is not only like, subs and reserves and all that, but also playing time.
mhm.
Cuz at this point on, we're playing a what? We're playing 70 plus games a season now,
Yeah,
right?
about yeah, just about.
Which is ridiculous, by the way. And
Mhm.
that's not including like competitions in the off season. So like the Club World Cup that we played, you
Like
know.
yeah, because no, here's the thing: if you're playing, like if I'm just doing the math right now, you're doing 38 games of La Liga. You're doing okay, so 8 games in the Champions League, the first round. So that's already 46. Plus, if you're going all the
And
way to
then
the
2, 4,
final
6, and
eight,
7, so 15 games.
15 games in the Champions League total you could play. So that's right there. That's 53. If you're adding
Yeah.
Copa del Rey to that, that's up to like about 60, like 162.
Uh-huh.
Then you're
Then you have
adding
your Super Cups.
yeah, then you have your Super Cups, which is 2 games. That's already just for the club. That's like 65 games, pretty much.
Yeah, we're not including international
Yeah, if you're not
breaks.
including international breaks, that's 65 games of just club games
Yeah,
right
so
there.
I can understand being like tactically sound when it comes to this in terms of like, oh, our players are playing so much, we don't want to break them down.
Mm,
So we have to limit everyone's, I guess, minutes, you know?
mm,
It's like last season, Valverde was the played the most minutes out of any player in Europe, for example.
mm,
Played like 73 or 77 games. It was in that range.
mhm,
And like the players are running 10 plus kilometers a game.
mm,
Like this is like their legs are gonna shatter,
mhm.
you know. So I can understand it from that end, but I just hope that the whole thing gets resolved with the contract issues, because at the end of the day, what I hate the most is the fans that are more fans of players than the team.
Yeah.
You know what
Nah,
I mean?
nah, we have, bro. Most teams nowadays, because of social media, they have that. Because, like, even in our fan base, for example, you have like you have some essentially like for a while, like last year, you had like Casado versus Frankie debates, right? Like because Casado early
Yeah,
on in the season was the one starting, and when he was starting, we because in the 4-0 against you guys, the 4-1 against Bayern, the whatever, like he was the one starting because Frankie was injured, right? Then when Frankie came back,
yeah,
there was a huge debate on Frankie Casado, and then there's people debating, who's the best player on our team, Lamine, Rafinha, Pidge. Then you have like they have their own stands and blah blah. It gets mad annoying. The thing from my point of view, just like as an outsider, and maybe you can like confirm this or not, I feel like Madrid is trying to send like a message to Vinny because here's the thing, right? And you know this because I've talked to you about this at length. I personally think that one of Vinny, Rodrigo, Mbappe, or Bellingham gets sold by like this summer coming up. Someone is getting sold right now. For the longest time, I thought it was going to be Rodrigo, which I mean, it was. I'm not gonna say it was close, but the rumors were there this summer, right?
for sure, for sure.
But the thing is, right now, is that Vinny was obviously the best player on Madrid before Mbappe got there. Like, you had him and Bellingham for that Champions League season, but then like the years before that, you had him and Benzema. Then you had like 2 years where it was like just him, like he was the star boy, right? Now Mbappe comes in and pretty much takes the shine because we all know Mbappe's Madrid's best player. He's like the star player, whatever,
I mean,
and
yeah.
and it's deserved. Obviously, he's delivering for you guys right now. But the thing is that from Vinny's point of view, he's gonna sit there and think, like, okay, I've given 2 Champions Leagues to his clubs. I've won them league titles. I pretty much should have won a Ballon d'Or for them. He didn't win it, but should have won it. But like, he's done enough. And then he's basically now the second guy on the team. And from his point of view now, he's going to be thinking like, it's not that I think he wants to leave Madrid. I don't think any player that wants to leave Madrid or Barca or whatever. I don't think it's they want to leave necessarily. But he's going to sit there and think like, I'm either going to have to sacrifice a lot of my stats, a lot of my own like glory for Mbappe, or there's going to be a conflict. Because from my point, because even some Madrid fans were speculating this, maybe the message like behind him getting subbed off by Alonso, maybe his reaction was basically like his reaction is to say like why the fuck am I getting subbed off? Like I played probably the best game today. Like I was probably the best player on the pitch. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you're subbing me off and not someone else. On top of that, maybe from Alonso's trying to send him a message like, yeah, you're clearly like the Robin in this, and Mbappe's the Batman. Maybe it's because of that. Who knows? But I think to be honest, the toxicity at Madrid because of this, maybe now it's not gonna linger for now because it's still early in the season. But I feel like later on in the season, not saying it's gonna happen, but there it might happen. I'm not gonna deny. I think something is gonna happen in that locker room personally because
I
there's
don't, I don't, I
yeah,
don't count it out. But one thing I've learned supporting this team for what about 15 plus years now, 17 years or whatever.
mm,
No one's bigger than the club.
mm,
Ramos left.
mhm.
Ronaldo left. Benzema left. Who else? David Beckham, R9,
Yeah,
whoever the fuck you can
Marcelo,
think
they
of.
all left, but one
They
thing
all
you
they
can
left because
say, they were
no
old
one is
though.
bigger.
But they were old. The difference is with Vinny now is because he's still 25? Like he's in his and the thing is with South American players, right? Their prime lasts between like let's say 22, 23 until they're like 28, 29, then they get burnt out after, right? That's the thing.
Of course.
So like
We've seen it happen too much.
right now Vinny is in his prime. So that's why it's a bit different. The only thing I'm going to say is just that like if him and Mbappe could come, like if Vinny wants to put his ego aside, then obviously, yeah, like he's gonna stay because I don't think Vinny obviously wants to leave. But then again, if he gets an offer from like I don't know, let's say a Man City, a Liverpool, like one of these big European teams where he's like, okay, you're going to be the star winger, this and that, blah blah blah. You're gonna be the main guy. He's gonna think to himself, okay, look, I don't want to leave, but then again, I've already won everything I could have won at Madrid because he's won pretty much everything he could at Madrid. He's won the league, he's won 2 Champions Leagues, he's won a Club World Cup with you guys, he's won a Super Cup with you guys, he's won a Spanish Super Cup with you guys. Like you know what I mean? He's won pretty much everything he could have won at Madrid, except I think maybe a Copa del Rey. I don't. Have you guys won the Copa del Rey when he was there? I don't think
Maybe.
so. But
I'm
point
not
is,
sure. Maybe.
but it's not that big a
Except
trophy.
the Ballon d'Or. Except
Well,
the
yeah.
Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, but to be fair, he doesn't need Madrid for that, to be fair. But the point
Yeah.
is, I mean, it gives him the PR, obviously, but he doesn't need to be at Madrid to win that. But
No, but I mean, let me ask you this then.
Hmm.
Who on the top of your head that you can think of has left Madrid
and
for
done well.
Barcelona
Oh,
and like actually was propelled or did something crazy. I mean, well, let's
Mm,
be honest. Like Neymar left you guys,
yeah, it's
career went to shit.
declined. I mean, off the top
No,
of my head,
Ronaldo left us. His career didn't really go anywhere.
yeah, it died after. Yeah, I mean,
Like
who left Madrid in his career and or Barcelona career got better? I mean,
really that I can think. You know who I can think of?
hmm.
That is the only one that you could maybe like use that like Hakimi.
Yeah, but Hakimi, but to be fair with Hakimi though, he was very young when he left. That's the thing.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah. So
like
like
I'm trying to think of a player who like was maybe in their prime or like close to their prime, like was starting for Madrid and stuff. Then he left and his career got better. Honestly, bro, I can't. I can't think.
oh wait,
Like
maybe Dembele.
yeah, Dembele left Barca, yeah. But then again, the thing is with but Dembele though, it's a bit different just because like Dembele, and this is like the narrative people like it annoys me. Okay, it's not that like oh we sold him and gave up on him and whatever. The thing with Dembele is that for his 7 years he was in Barca, he had 5 injury-plagued seasons where like yeah he had flashes of very good play whatever, but it was mainly 5 years of injuries. The 2 years where he was actually very good, we wanted to like Xavi wanted to keep Dembele, but Dembele decided to go to PSG. We wanted to keep Dembele, right? But then he decided to go. And okay, he did his thing, won the Ballon d'Or, but I don't think that's a Barca. I don't think that's like Barca's fault because, bro, he was like, I
No.
feel we gave him more time than he probably deserved. You know what I mean? Like, if I was the club after like 2020 or 2021, I would have just sold him at that point because like he was there at that point for 4 years, was injury prone and not giving us much. I would have just sold him at that point. We gave him a chance. He basically rebuilt himself at the club, and then the second he got popping again, he left and went to PSG. Which fine, whatever. I don't have anything against him per se. But I mean, outside of let's say maybe Ozil, I can think of when he went to Arsenal. But even then, his career was like, yeah, he did well at Arsenal, but he didn't win like major trophies after. So I mean,
Didn't win shit. It's
like
Arsenal.
that's the thing. Like, I don't know, but with Vinny right now, all I'm saying is that the situation, I feel like right now it's early on in the season, it's not gonna flare up as much. But I'm thinking like because it's gonna happen when Madrid get like an ass whooping at some point this season. Because it's gonna happen at least one more time, like an Atletico style ass whooping. Where like I'm saying this, we're in the Super Cup, and because next time we play you guys technically is in May, okay? But next time we could play you guys theoretically is the Super Cup in January because you guys play Atletico Madrid in that semifinal. We play Athletic Bilbao. I'm assuming we're probably beating Athletic Bilbao. I think you guys will beat Atletico Madrid. And then at that point, if we play you guys in the final like last year and you guys get an ass whooping again like last year, which I don't know if it's going to happen, to be honest. But, say it does happen, it's going to flare up again because, like, when, the old saying goes, when you're winning, everything is fine. When you're losing, everything goes to shit. That's the thing. Right now, you guys are winning, so it's not coming out in the media as much. But if you guys start, like, go on a run where you, let's say, in like 5 games you win 1 or 2, lose 2 or 3, you guys are not playing that well, then you guys lose to Barca in like a very bad way or whatever, then you're gonna see the rumors come out again that like, oh, Vinny's not happy playing next to Mbappe and then whatever. And whether those rumors are true or not, the fans are gonna start going ape shit. The players obviously,
the fans are gonna start building narratives.
The players obviously see the stuff online because they all have social media. So like, I'm just saying right now with Madrid, it's like it's teetering. Like obviously right now it's cool, you guys are winning, it's going good, but I wouldn't be surprised if later on this year it kind of goes to shit.
Yeah, I'm not expecting a perfect season where we're not gonna lose any more games till the end. No, I'm not expecting that. But I am hoping for some sort of growth compared to last season, which I see.
Yeah.
I already see. It's defensively, tactically. I mean, realistically, if we were playing you, even with you guys having a bunch of injuries, if we were playing you guys this season with the same shit as last season, we still would have lost this game. Even with the injuries you guys had, I don't not being there.
I don't know about that just for one reason, because this was one of my fears going into this game. Now, even though obviously I had a lot of chess before the game, you knew that I was saying we're gonna win, whatever. but the fear I had was this, because if you notice the trend last year, so we played you guys 4 times. The first 2 times we played you, we dusted you, like we fucking destroyed you, whatever. But then the 2 times after that were very close games. Like the Copa del Rey final, you guys were winning in the 80th minute, and then we ended up coming back and winning in extra time. But that was a very close game. And then the Classico, the League Classico, at last season, it ended 4-3. Like, you guys were up 2-0, it ended 4-3. So in my head, I was like, okay, like, yeah, we are still better than Madrid, but like they're slowly starting to like figure us out. And like Mbappe's hitting form, they're kind of starting to figure us out a bit. And that was when Ancelotti was there. And when we played you guys in the Copa del Rey and in the league, from what I can remember, we didn't have any injuries. Like, we had our fully fit team when we played you guys in both those games, and you guys did put up a fight. So if you guys had
injuries,
yeah, exactly. So if you guys played the same team as last year, like with Ancelotti, whatever, against us this year, like same game, whatever, no, I think you guys still win. I just think, like with Madrid, I just find it funny, and like, thank God that's the case. You guys don't tend to wash Barca the way we do. Like, okay, in the last couple of years, you guys have beaten us. I remember you guys had the 4-0 in the Copa del Rey against us in the Camp Nou, right?
That was probably the biggest. That's probably the most we've
exactly.
Y'all, but
like, there was that. There was the 4-1 in the Super Cup 2 years ago. There was that one. Outside of that, you guys, even when you beat us, you guys will beat us like, okay, there was like a 2-1, a 3-2 last minute Bellingham winner, you know, a 1-0,
things like that,
shit like that. But with us, like, for example, in the last couple of years, we've had, you know, 4-0 against you we had 4-0 last year, the 5-2. We had the 4-0 in the Bernabeu like 3 years ago. We had like, we had another one. It was what was it?
I think it was 2000 and
there was 2015. There was a 4-0. Yeah,
it was a 5-1. I think
exactly. There was a 5-1 in 2018. That was the year after Ronaldo left. Yeah, there was that. Like, we have results where like we can rinse you. You guys don't tend to destroy us, which is why, like, thank God. 'Cause honestly, bro, the only thing that like kept me sane after that game was the fact that it was 2-1. Because honestly, it could have and should have been like 5-1. To be honest.
No, realistically, but I mean, let me ask you this, right? Since the last time we did one of these up until now, right? Have you seen how your team is just like your team is crumbling from, you know what I mean? Like it's what's it called?
From within.
It's dropping in form, and I get it. You have injuries. I understand that because we had injuries last season and we were getting killed. But at the same time, you have to think, do you really want to keep playing the same tactical way that Flick is going?
Here's what I'm going to say, because the fact that we've been doing bad this year, I put it down to 3 things. Obviously, the first one is obviously injuries, okay? Because since I don't think the starting 11, we were playing most games last year, because our starting 11 last year was basically Koundé. You had Koundé, Kubarsi, Inigo, Balde. You had, I mean, Iñaki Peña at the beginning of the season. You had, you know, Szczesny as goalie, right? But then you had Frankie, Pedri, and Olmo. Like, this is like our best 11. Frankie, Pedri, Olmo. Then you had Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Yamal, right? I don't think we've played that lineup once this year, because someone's always been injured, right? Like, I don't think we've played that lineup once.
I mean, also the fact that you don't have Inigo Martinez.
That's the thing, because like even outside of Inigo, say we had like even everyone else, like Lewandowski basically has been in and out this year. Rafinha's been injured for like half the year so far, because he played the first like 8, and even the stat. Because here's the thing, the stat, I saw this yesterday. In the 8 games Rafinha played this year, we went 7 wins and 1 draw. In the 6 games, is it 6 or 7? In the 6 or 7 games we've played without him, it's been 3 wins and 3 defeats. 3 losses, right? So I'm putting it down to 3 things. First of all, injuries, obviously, because if you're going to be injured, obviously you're not going to do shit, right? There's that. Second of all, it's, a lack of defensive depth, because the thing with the high line, and this is what I always say, I don't have an issue with the high line per se. I have an issue with it when you don't have the pieces to play it. Now, for example, this is my one issue with Flick, is that if we had, let's say, Rafinha in the Classico, and we had like Yamal, because here's the thing, people obviously like to troll him, but Yamal wasn't fully fit. Like, there's still rumors about him probably missing some games, because, bro, he's not fully fit. He's still dealing with that injury he has. If we had a fully fit Rafinha, fully fit Yamal, with, like, basically we had the fully fit team, and we didn't have Inigo, because people put it down to Inigo not being there, which, yes, that obviously hurts, right? But if our team was fully fit, I don't think it's because Inigo's not there necessarily. I just think it's a thing of, first of all, the pressing's not there because our biggest presser, which is Rafinha, has been injured, right? The pressing's not there, and when one dude isn't pressing, the whole system goes to shit. That's its biggest flaw. If the whole team is not going together and pressing as a unit, the system gets undone very easily, right? So there's that.
Mhm.
Second of all, it's just the fact that, like, I just feel like there's too many distractions around the team right now. Because first of all, you have, like, and obviously, okay, we don't help ourselves. Like, Lamine, obviously, as much as I like him shit talking, when it works, but it doesn't help when it doesn't work. Because now all the media pressure goes on the team, it goes on him. You obviously saw after the game, like Courtois, Vinny, Carval, all of them were trying to get their piece of him because he was talking shit, whatever. Which, like, I honestly don't mind it because I hate Madrid and the thing with Messi, the only thing with Messi that would annoy me is he had this humble thing about him. I want a player who's basically very good and talks his shit. The thing is with Lamine is he talks his shit and I like it. But then when it doesn't go well, it bites us in the ass. My thing right now is I think Barca's season, it's still early enough, right? If we can put in a consistent run of form. Now, obviously I say that, but Pedri's going to be out for the next month to two, which is unfortunate, right? But if we can get to New Year's, right? And this is how, because we're 30 minutes in, so this is how I want to, like, end the video. I want to basically get your opinion. We'll do mine, and then we'll end it there. I think, basically, Pedri's missing. The biggest games he's missing are Atletico, I believe it's at home, and Chelsea away, right? Other than that, we're playing teams that, yeah, they're not easy, but we can cope without him, right? If we can get to January being maybe maximum 5 to 6 points behind Madrid, right? Or maybe, who knows, even be tied with you or above you. I mean, obviously that's a bonus, but I don't see it. But if we can go to New Year's, 5 to 6 points behind you, we're in the Copa del Rey doing our thing. In the Champions League, we make it through to the round of 16, which we should, whatever. I think if we get to that point in the season, and then by that, Pedri comes back and our team is fully healthy, I think we can still do well this year, right? Because the one bright spark this year, I could say, is Rashford. Rashford's been very good for us, right? So if we can go into January with that, then I think the season's still salvageable. Because, last year we went into New Year's 10 points behind you guys. And then what really brought our season back to life was beating you in the Super Cup. Because up until then, we were 10 points behind you. We were on a bad run of form. And the last game we had played before that Super Cup game was the Atletico game at home, which we lost, which put us 10 points behind you guys, right? So we get to that Super Cup game. We end up winning the Super Cup, right? We beat Athletic Bilbao. We beat you or Atletico Madrid, hypothetically, in the final. And our team is back healthy. I think we can still win the league this year and potentially win the Champions League. Now, that being said, if we keep picking up injuries and the form is not there, we're just playing the same way we are right now, we're not winning shit this year. The only thing we can maybe win is like a Copa del Rey and maybe a Super Cup. So if we win 2 trophies this year, okay, cool. But winning a league and Champions League with what we're playing right now is not happening. There's no way.
No. And another thing you have to realize is, as, like, yeah, you get injuries, and obviously that's terrible. We dealt with it last season. You guys are dealing with it this season, but the problem is when a player picks up an injury, even when they come back to play, they're still not 100%.
Yeah.
So right now, like, for example, like Lamine Yamal, who's your best player, like, yeah, he still might not be 100% fit, but let's be honest, he's not the player he was last season.
Well, I think it's due to the fact 2 things. 1, because the team around him has not been consistent, like, in terms of injuries. Yeah. And 2, because him himself, like, since like mid-September, he's been battling this injury. Since the first international break, he's been having injury issues, right? And that's why I specifically said January, because the reason why Pedri comes back at latest, unless he relapses, hopefully not, he comes back in early to mid-December, okay?
Yeah.
By the time January comes around, Lamine right now, because I think Flick is real, because because a lot of the injuries we have right now, a lot of them are muscle injuries, like calf strains, groin strains, hamstrings, whatever. That is big. That's because it's an accumulation of fatigue, right? That's why. Obviously, because last year, the system we played takes a heavy toll on a person because we run a lot, right? And I think Flick is realizing that now, because a lot of the rumors in the media are saying he's developing a plan to basically make sure his players stay fresh, whatever, right? If we can basically, like I said, go into January, Lamine's injury issues are mostly behind him. Rafinha's going to be back, obviously. Because right now, the only player, because Lewandowski's coming back very soon. Rafinha's coming back very soon. Joan Garcia's coming back. If not this game at the weekend, he's coming back after the international break, which is very soon. We have Kunde's gonna get some rest, obviously. Like he's gonna be getting some rest. Blah 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 blah. Because even him, he's like not 100% fit. If we can just rest some of these dudes and come back the second half of the season with a fully fit team, I think we'll do well. And obviously, when January comes around, look. I think honestly, look, our attack is fine to me. I think our midfield is fine, even though we have injuries. I think the biggest thing right now is in January. If we can go pick up, I don't care if it's a loan signing or whatever. If we can pick up just two defenders, they don't have to be amazing defenders, just two defenders that we can play, and because we don't need the best quality defense when we're playing La Liga teams. Like you know this, okay? If we can get some defenders that, if we have like 2 games in the week, a Champions League game and a league game, we can rest Kubarsi and these guys for the Champions League and then leave and then put in like some like random guy from I don't know where in the La Liga games, then that'd be the ideal because we really just need center back options. Outside of that, midfield and attack is mostly fine. Like I'm not worried about that. It's mainly our center backs. If we can get center back depth, I think we'll be fine. And I hope
is killing you.
Yeah, I hope we figured that out. But me, as long as we're playing the way we are right now, I don't see us winning anything besides maybe a Copa del Rey and maybe a Super Cup, and that's being generous. League and Champions League, if we play the way we're playing right now, we're not winning that. If we pick up form, we could still win a League. Champions League, I'm still not sure because Bayern and PSG look very good this year. Bayern specifically.
Bayern more, yeah. I was gonna say.
We'll have to see. Now, what about you? You think, because right now you guys don't really have many injuries. Obviously, Bellingham just came back from his injury and he's picking up where he left off and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, so
where do you think?
So for us, considering, like, hoping that there is no injuries moving on forward, I do think that we do win the league. Alonso has a good relationship with winning the league, you know, Leverkusen, and now he's in a better team, better squad, better players. In terms of winning a European trophy like the Champions League, I think we're definitely in the top. I would say we're in the top 3 or 4.
I'd say 5. I'd say top 5. I'd say top 5.
Like to win it, I don't see. There are only 2 teams that I can see that give us trouble, and that is PSG and Bayern. Everyone's saying Arsenal.
No, no. Here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you. I think Arsenal to me are the 3rd favorite. Just this reason why. The thing with Madrid's attack, despite it being statistically, it's been good this year because Mbappe, whatever, but it is still very reliant on Mbappe. And because if one of Mbappe or Vinny drops like a stinker, your attack doesn't do much. That's the thing. Because you guys are overly reliant on Mbappe, I feel, in attack, which for the moment is working, but when you're playing a team like an Arsenal whose defense is just insanely good, I mean, you guys saw it last year. Like, I know you guys did have the injuries or whatever, but even just attacking-wise, you guys couldn't score against them, except for the fact that Saliba made like a mistake and pretty much gave you guys a goal, right? But our Arsenal's defense is very good. That's why I think you're going to have issues with it. And their attack is not amazing, but in my opinion, also, your defense isn't that great. It's decent, but I don't think your defense is amazing. So Arsenal defensively can snuff you on, and attacking-wise, I think could have the tools to beat you.
I get what you're saying, but I actually said this the other day on a call. I said with Arsenal, I think the biggest thing that works against Arsenal is like a Barcelona style of play where they're just like killing them on a crazy press, high line, like not even letting them breathe, not even letting them string a pass or two together. Because with Arsenal, and obviously, like, yeah, they've been doing very well this season. They also like drop very low. They play a low block. You know what I mean? However, I feel like in order to expose that, you need to get the ball back quick.
Yeah.
And with you guys do that the best because of your high line, high press. However, the reason why I say Arsenal is not like, yeah, they're in the top 5 favorites for sure. But the reason why I say they're not like the favorite or like, you know, or like this like team that I'm so worried about, and the reason why is because of experience. I feel like when it comes to Champions League, experience like is required.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In terms of pressure, I mean, uh, Arsenal hasn't sniffed a Champions League final in almost 20 years.
Yeah, since
Yeah,
2006.
this is gonna be since '06. We're gonna go into the 20th year now, and they haven't even touched the Champions League final. Barely a semifinal last season, you know. So experience comes with that. Now PSG, I've seen are kind of struggling, but not really. With like in
Yeah, like
Ligue 1.
they drew like 2 days ago, yeah, in their game, and
Yeah,
Doué
you know,
got
so
injured.
like
Yeah.
they're having some like issues here and there, but I don't think it's anything like crazy. Bayern, on the other hand, I I think Bayern is the scariest team right now because they're literally undefeated the whole
Mhm.
season. And also, one more thing is I don't I still have yet to see Bayern face like a big team, you know?
Yeah, that is
Get put to
true.
the
The
test, you know?
one big team they played against, quote unquote, was Dortmund, and they needed like a lucky goal, pretty much, because Jude
Well, they
Bellingham's,
also played
you know.
Chelsea and won like
Yeah, but
3-1.
I know, but
But
Chelsea, exactly. Like
It's
for
Chelsea.
for me, the big test is coming up this week because they play PSG this week, and mind you, Doué's injured now, so even then they have injuries. But look, if Bayern can play this PSG team, because PSG still have Dembele's back, Farah's back, they still have pretty much most of their team there except for Doué and I think Marquinhos, right? If
Yeah.
Bayern can beat that team, I'm not gonna say comfortably, but like when that beat them convincing, like say they win like a 3-1 and it's like pretty convincing, like they weren't lucky or anything, then I'll start to think like, okay, this team's like actually serious, right?
Yeah, 100%. And then like moving on to like other teams like Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool, no. Barca, right now, it's like unknown because of like everything I mentioned earlier. I think right
Yeah,
now, if I were to
exactly.
make a list, I'd say Bayern 1, PSG 2, Arsenal 3. I'd say Madrid is 4th, and I'd probably say maybe I'd say Man City's 5. Maybe.
The only reason I agree with what you're saying, and the reason why Man City is fifth, and I agree with that, is because it's Pep. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Pep, and we know how Pep is. You
And
know.
Holland is in the form of his life right now.
Yeah, and Haaland is in the form of his life. You know, but
Hmm.
as far as the other teams, Chelsea, not a threat. Liverpool, they're about to lose tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, like I mean, you know, we play them on Tuesday, and
Mm.
I couldn't be more excited. To be honest
Here's the
with
thing.
you.
I never want Madrid to win, but I can't lie. It's one of those games where like I want both teams to lose, but if Madrid beat Liverpool, which I think they will, I don't want Madrid to win, but I will find it very funny, I'll be honest.
No, if like we play on Tuesday, I don't. I'm not worried.
Hmm.
There like I'm happy going into this because
Yeah.
in my head I'm thinking we're walking out 3-1.
Is it at Anfield or it's at Madrid?
It's at Anfield.
I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go 4-2. I'm gonna say 4-2.
4-2. I like that.
I
but
think
I
I
just,
think your defense will concede some goals, but Liverpool's defense really sucks. So I think they'll also concede a lot. It's kind of the same logic I had going into the Clasico. I thought like my prediction for the game was we'd beat you 4-2, which obviously didn't happen. But you know, I think it's kind of the same logic. I'm thinking it's going to be 4-2 Madrid. We'll have to see
yeah,
though.
I think I'm happy that we're facing them. Like
Mm.
I'm actually excited that we're facing. I honestly before the Clasico thought we were gonna lose, and
Mm.
I told you when we started this is because of the Atleti game. It just completely destroyed every piece of confidence I had for the team. You
But
know, I
now
watched that game.
you,
I watched that game coming back from Spain on the
mm,
plane,
yeah.
and we're down 4-2, and then they score a fifth, and I'm looking at this like, how? Like
Well,
I get it. It's at their stadium, and Atleti just for some reason every time they play us, it's just like a insane amount of hatred in their heart.
well,
It just doesn't.
I mean, it's understandable. You guys are their
Of
city
course.
rivals, and you guys win more than them. It's understandable.
Oh yeah,
But
but
all I'm gonna say is this, because we're gonna have to wrap it up. You guys have beaten Juventus and Barca in your last 2 games. You should have confidence if you're able to beat, because you have Valencia tomorrow, which I believe is an away game. So I'm not sure, but anyways, you guys have Valencia tomorrow, which should be a win because Valencia is buns. You guys win that and then go on to beat Liverpool. That's 4 wins on the row. Well, actually, no. You guys actually no. It would be more than
Oh,
4
this
wins
is
in a row.
it's home tomorrow.
But like it would be in your last 4 games, 3 of those games, if you say you beat Liverpool and Valencia, 3 of those 4 games are against big teams: Barca, Juventus, and Liverpool. So I mean, we'll have to see. But
Have something to go about. You know?
I look forward to doing this again with you. I'd say around January. I'm thinking after the Super Cup would be a good time because that's
that'd be perfect.
Because you're gonna come back with me having hella chest, or I'm gonna be even more depressed than I am now. But
hey, you never know. But to be honest with you, what's it called? Because the Super Cup is in January.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So we'll see. Because like I think by then we'll be able to have a much clearer idea. As to
Yeah, because it's gonna be like literally mid-season at that point. So
yeah, exactly. So we're gonna be literally halfway.
Yeah, we'll see you guys. Make sure you guys check out Haji on TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter. You check out Basement Ballers as well, TikTok, whatever. We're gonna be doing this again next week, probably with another guest. We'll have to see. But Haji will be back in a few months, hopefully with a bit less chest and a bit more sadness. But thank you guys and peace out.